If you ever travel on the 1995 stock on the Northern Line, your service may just end up at one of the most complex stations on the entire network, Camden Town. And today, I want to revisit the station and explain the junction that lies to the south, which I think might be the most complex junction on the entire network. So, here we go. Camden Town Station is a major Zone 2 station on the Northern Line and is located in one of the most popular tourist destinations in the city. The station acts as a hub for all services using the Northern Line, with two large branches to the north and the south, which can result in a complex web of tunnels. The story of how it ended up this way is that in 1907, the Hampstead Tube opened, which ran from Charing Cross and Embankment stations to Camden Town and splitting into two branches, one heading to Hampstead and the other to the Hampstead Tube's Highgate station, which is what we know now as Archway. When the 1910s came, there was a plan to assimilate the CSLR and the Hampstead Tube into one line. This opened in 1924, giving us the junction we know today. So, now we have the historical context done, let's take a look at this mess. First of all, this is the approximate layout of the junction itself, and here are the platforms. The platforms are arranged in a V shape, facing away from each other. Platform 1 is for all northbound services to Edgware, and Edgware trains are exclusive to this platform. Trains using this platform can come from either the Charing Cross or Bank branches. Platform 2 is for all southbound trains from Edgware, and can head to either the Charing Cross or Bank branches. Platform 3 is for all northbound services to High Barnet and Mill Hill East, and again, trains can use this platform from any southern branch. While Platform 4 is used for southbound services coming from High Barnet and Mill Hill East, and again, can use either southern branch. Now let's look at this diagram, with blue being the up lines and red being the down lines. By the way, in railway terminology, up means towards the city and down means away from the city. So, here in blue, I'm showing the up lines. The up trains use platforms 2 and 4 at Camden Town, and split into junctions immediately, and trains from either platform can access either the Charing Cross or Bank branches. The main takeaway from this is that the Edgware trains heading to the Charing Cross branch have to cross over the tunnel that carries Bank trains from High Barnet in order to serve Mornington Crescent. Now if we look at the down lines, shown in red, they use platforms 1 and 3 at Camden Town. Trains using these platforms can come from either the Charing Cross or Bank branches, but on those platforms, trains can only head to a specific destination, in this case, Edgware and High Barnet respectively, whereas for 2 and 4, they can head anywhere on any branch. The main takeaway here is that the trains coming from the Charing Cross branch wanting to access the Edgware platform have to negotiate a long curved tunnel going over the Bank down line in the process, in order for the trains to access it smoothly without conflict, and to avoid having to negotiate a sharp curve. So looking at all the track at once, we can see that trains using the junction have to cross other trains without conflict. This results in tunnels having to cross over or under each other in order for services to use a specific branch when going to a specific destination. For example, if a train coming from the Charing Cross branch wants to head to High Barnet, they would go under the Bank upline and use this crossover that goes over the upline from Platform 2. This also allows trains coming from the Bank branch to access High Barnet. Sometimes, this can result in High Barnet trains coming from the Bank branch having to wait. Similarly, if a train coming from the Edgware branch wants to access the Bank branch, they would head under the down High Barnet line and use this crossover that allows trains from Edgware to access the Bank branch. The trains then go under the Charing Cross tunnels in the process. Sometimes, it can result in conflict with High Barnet trains trying to access the Bank branch. The final tunnel in this junction is this one here, and it's fairly simple. This only exists to allow trains to access the Charing Cross branch from High Barnet. Now let's look south of Camden Town Junction. Between Euston and Camden Town lies Mornington Crescent Station, which is only served by Charing Cross trains. All Bank branch trains bypass the station on the 1924 tunnels and head to the CSLR platforms at Euston. The Charing Cross trains use the original 1907 tunnels and head to platforms 1 and 2 at Euston, which are completely separate from the CSLR platforms, requiring a bit of a walk to connect between the two. In terms of services, modern trains use the CSLR platforms, while Kennington and Battersea trains use the Hampstead Tube platforms at Euston. Occasionally, modern services will divert via the Charing Cross branch, as there is a track connection between the two city branches further south at Kennington. Speaking of Kennington, the services that use either the Charing Cross or Bank branches on a regular basis have their own dedicated platforms, meaning you can only access one branch once a train is on a specific platform. For example, on a Battersea train, you can't access the Bank branch. Anyway, back over at Camden Town, this crossover near Mornington Crescent isn't used on a regular basis, and only exists in case of disruptions or unusual movements. To finish off the video, let's take a look at a few secrets that exist. The reason why the platforms are one above the other here was due to the roads above being so narrow and regulations at the time preventing tunnels from being built under buildings. The station also has a back set of corridors that allows people to change between the platforms without having to use the main mezzanine area. The outside of the station still has the Oxblood Leslie Green station design, which looks really nice. The station also provides outer-station interchange with Camden Road Station on the overground. Back in 2003, the last carriage of a train derailed as it was going over a series of points at the junction. This restricted trains going between the Edgware and Bank branches and the High Barnet and Charing Cross branches. Full use of the junction was restored the next year. So, if the Northern Line connects at both Kennington and Camden Town, why is it not split in two? Well, the issue exists at Camden Town. All of the Northern Line services intermix and connect with each other here, with trains crossing over each other all the time, and the station is far too small to handle the crowds changing trains here. If the Northern Line was split in two, possibly something like this, the overcrowding could get even worse, with even more passengers changing trains. TfL had plans to upgrade the station completely, but those have been put on hold indefinitely, which even included plans to include a new entrance, a new surface building to replace the old Oxblood building, and entirely new corridors to take pressure off of the existing ones. Currently, I don't see this proposal as likely to happen, as it will be a few more years before anything gets approved. So, that is the complexity that is Camden Town Junction. If you would like a more behind-the-scenes look, check out the Hidden London Hangouts video on Camden Town Junction, where the crew explored different bits of the junction that you might have never seen before on a train. Anyways, if you liked the video, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.